Hi, I'm Hannah Green, and this is my study comparison video. So I'm specifically looking at supplements myo-inositol and D-chiroinositol studies in relationship to the research question, effective supplement protocols in the management of gestational diabetes. Study 1 and Study 2. So study 1 is looking at evaluating the effects of myo-inositol supplementation on women with GDM, and study 2 is evaluating the effects of different dosages of inositol stereoisomers supplementation on insulin resistant levels. And then both studies are looking at maternal fetal outcomes. Study 1 is a cohort study. The study findings: same number of women in both intervention and controlled groups started additional insulin therapy. In the myo-inositol group, more frequently had long-acting insulin treatment, whereas the control group more frequently had a basal bolus insulin regimen. So myo-inositol group had significantly lower fasting plasma glucose, postprandial dinner glucose, and insulin requirement both in the second and third trimesters. In the myo-inositol group, lower birth weights and lower hypoglycemic events for newborns. Study 2. So this was an open label, parallel randomized controlled trial, and the study findings were a significant decrease in insulin resistance in the myo-inositol group subjects without insulin therapy compared to the control group, a lower variation in average weight gain in myo-inositol group compared to the control group, significantly lower necessity of an intensified insulin treatment in the myo-inositol and DCI group, and controlled group had newborns with higher birth weights versus intervention with inositol groups. Study 1 analysis. Internal validity is moderate. The main limitation they put on themselves was that it was not a randomized design trial. External validity is high. Statistically significant findings that apply to a worldwide increasing complication. Future research, it would be nice to see a randomized controlled trial and then a larger sample size. There were 330 women in this study, and that's the largest study group I could find. So 150 were in the myo-inositol group and 180 were in the control group. But again, I think it would be nicer to see even larger studies. Study 2 analysis, internal validity, low to moderate. The dosage of D-chiroinositol was low, so D-chiroinositol has been something that is more recently being researched, and so they were concerned that they used a very low dose of DCI. And then it was a very small sample size, so 80 women total. They had 3 different intervention groups, switching up combinations, and then 1 controlled group. And so that left 20 women in each group, so very small sample size. External validity is still moderate to high. It was an open-labeled, parallel, randomized, controlled trial, so the study was set up well. Findings that can apply to worldwide increasing complication. So future research for this study would be proposed dosages for stereoisomers are various. Therefore, further studies are needed to verify effective dosages and combinations of the stereoisomers that are most beneficial, and then also a larger sample size. And then these are my references. Thank you.